Hey there, everybody, and welcome to Fearless Thinking, a podcast designed to help you navigate authentic leadership and the entrepreneurial journey. I'm your host, Michael DeVue, and these are my thoughts, lessons, and insights from my entrepreneurial journey into coaching, workshops, motivational speaking, and of course, what I picked up from interviews with inspiring leaders and entrepreneurs along the way. My mission is to help people unlock their untapped potential by using fear as a catalyst for powerful change and growth, so they can step into the greatest version of their most authentic selves. All right, let's get into some fearless thinking. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Episode 5, week 2. The end of a week talking about transformative entrepreneurial journeys and the 20 tenets that represents. Day 5, this is the Unbreakable Spirit episode. This is resilience, developing resilience. I think life can throw some things at you. What did I just say? Oh, I was supposed to introduce. I'm sorry. Welcome back to Fearless Thinking. I'm your host, Michael DeVue. I forgot my intro. Today's episode tackles tenet number 5, resilience. The entrepreneurial journey is rarely smooth. Come on, it's not always smooth sailing. And you'll face some setbacks and rejections along the way. Absolutely. You put yourself out there long enough, people are going to turn you down, and there will be some unexpected challenges that are going to come your way. Because you know what? You just told the universe you want to do, be, or have something that you weren't before. And you're telling the universe, I want to do, be, or have something greater. You know what I mean? I want to step into a different version of myself with this idea and take this on. And that will come with unexpected challenges. But what separates the successful entrepreneur from the rest? And it's not just money. It's the unwavering grit and resilience to bounce back stronger than ever. This comes from not seeing these fall downs as failures, but seeing them as lessons and using that knowledge, leveraging that experience to do something better and differently this time, and iterate and adapt as you go along. That's resilience. That's understanding that you might get knocked down, but you'll get back up and be like, oh man, you know what, I did that wrong there, or I took that wrong turn, or I should have listened to X, Y, and Z and done ABC. And when you know that, you can shift your perspective. So let's talk about that. Failing to develop resiliency, right? It's kind of like being a ship caught in a storm. You might get tossed around a little bit, but eventually you're just going to sink. But if you build resiliency into the model, right? Resiliency can be your life raft. It can help keep you afloat. You can't be rigid. You got to be flexible. Now, let's imagine we'll stay with this ship idea on water. A determined captain riding his ship, her ship, and then navigating through the storm with a renewed sense of focus. You now have the tools and the leverage to be able to look differently at those stars and make a better navigational pathway for your ship and your crew. And resiliency allows you to overcome these challenges, learning from those setbacks that we talked about, and actually emerging stronger on the other side. That's what that looks like. The resilience is that journey, right? From starting, falling, getting back up, taking that lesson, adapting, iterating, coming out the other side, boom. Resilience, layer number 1. You've done it, right? So now here are some tips. The fear that can come up while trying to learn to be resilient is the feeling that this is just too hard. that idea that this is tough. This is too hard. This can actually hinder your ability to develop resiliency, So we are going to have to reframe that fear. If it's coming up for you that this is too difficult, too hard, and too challenging, I understand. You didn't ask for a small dream. You didn't ask for a little thing, right, to impact the world. You can't impact the world with little steps, small steps. Yeah, you can get to the top of the mountain with small steps, and that's big. But what you're dreaming, what you're doing, and how big you want to be, and the kind of impact you want to have on this world, yeah, that's going to require you to think a little bit about when you bring it out there. You're going to have some of these fears pop up about it. Might be too hard, or might feel like it is at the moment. And I'm here to tell you it's not. It'll be challenging, yes. but you've got this. You know, you can do this. So we're going to reframe that fear of it being too hard. And we're going to look again as an opportunity to just build mental strength, right? To learn from these challenges and these mistakes to become a more resourceful entrepreneur, right? So here are some tips on how you can do that. One, develop a growth mindset. Now this was started a long time ago about developing a growth mindset. It's brilliant actually teaching. But believing that challenges are just opportunities in disguise, you know, you can learn to grow and you can embrace these setbacks as stepping stones towards success. And as I've said before, challenges are challenges are always opportunities. You know, people were saying that I just said they're, you know, opportunities disguised as challenges, but they're really not. It's really about your perspective. And if you're facing a fear that this is too hard, I want you to take a step back for a minute, maybe do some journaling, have some hot tea, and ask yourself, where are you right now in your journey with your integrity? Is your integrity out of alignment? Because we've talked about this before in another episode. If your integrity, if you've done something that challenged your integrity, if you've woven in a small seed of doubt because you didn't follow through with something you said you were going to do, you didn't follow through with your commitment to yourself, right, with something. Maybe that's what's getting in here and going, oh, this is going to be too hard because you can't actually complete steps 9, 10, and 11. I've seen you get up to 8 and you just kind of peter out regularly. You know, maybe that's what's creeping in. So sit with it for a minute. Journal about that. Get up in the morning, have some tea, write about it, and then shift your perspective and develop a growth mindset by looking at these opportunities, these challenges, as opportunities to grow and to shift a little bit. 2, practice some self-care. That's what I talked about. Having that tea in the morning and taking that time to journal, that's some self-care. That's prioritizing you, your physical and mental well-being, right? A healthy and balanced, better you can help make you better equipped, you know, to handle these challenges. And maybe that's the other thing, you know, like not just look at your integrity and see whether or not your integrity is out of alignment, but what does your self-care look like right now? You know, if these thoughts of it being too hard are coming up, have you checked your self-care routine? Do you have one in place? And if you don't, maybe it's time to do a little self-care because maybe that's what that voice is. Maybe that's what's coming up for you. Is it saying, in our current condition, we don't think we can make it. We don't think we can get there. It's going to be too hard because we're not in the best shape mentally, emotionally, physically, and psychologically. We're not in the best shape to take this on. Maybe you got to look at some balance, some self-care balance. And 3, seek support. There's always someone out there who can lend you a little bit of their energy and their love and their light and their information and their ideas, right? If you build a good network of mentors and advisors and other fellow entrepreneurs who are going on the same journey you are, at least in a similar place that you are, surround yourself with those positive people and those supportive people. Let them lift you up for a minute. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe you're in a place where you've done it you've been siloed. Check that. You know, maybe you're doing a particular part of this project and you've siloed yourself and isolated yourself away from having the benefit of support and a helpful team. That could be part of it, right? And number 4, learn from your mistakes. It's okay to make them. I mean, everyone's going to. You're going to. Like, that's just guarantee. You know what I mean? If you're going to make them, be okay with making them and then learn from them and move on. Don't beat yourself up. Don't use them as a stone to throw yourself into the ocean and drown with. Like, my gosh. Mistakes are important and valuable pieces of information. That's all they are. They're just pieces of information you didn't have before about yourself or about the journey and the path you're on. Reflect on those setbacks and identify the areas where you can improve and just don't dwell on them, right? Just mark them down. Learn that. That was a lesson. Got that piece of information, put that in my pocket because I'm going to make a different choice next time when this comes up. And then just use them as a fuel for your growth. That growth mindset we were talking about, right? That's what's wonderful. So now, how does resiliency affect and help us as aspiring entrepreneurs on our journey? Well, one, increased perseverance for one. I mean, I just said one. Increased perseverance, right? Resiliency allows you to persevere through difficult and challenging times and allows you to keep pushing forward when things get tough or seem to get tough or might look like they would get tough, right? And adaptability and problem solving. These become big tool sets or a big set of tools, additional tools you have now in your arsenal as you move forward, because you're learning from your setbacks and you're learning from these mistakes. You become more adaptable along the road and capable of actually solving problems that are, even when they're unexpected, because you've done so many and you've adapted so many times, you've built that resiliency up. You now can adapt and see things coming that you couldn't before. Hello, remember those perspectives we talked about, those shifting those lenses? You now have all these additional lenses and all these additional tools, so that when a problem comes and approaches you down that road of success where you're headed, and you go, ah, I already have a tool for that. I know, because I've been through this. Sidestep, got it, done. Not a problem, right? Now, how does having resiliency foster a more inclusive and diverse entrepreneurial environment? We're always talking about diversity, 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 inclusivity. You've got to widen your perspective and your sets of opportunities and perspectives around you. Embracing your diverse perspectives. Resiliency and resilient teams are always going to learn from each other's setbacks, and they will value these diverse approaches to overcoming challenges, which just builds your skill sets for your entire team and your experiences. And that, so building that supportive network, that's the second one, right? Resilience encourages building a culture of support within your team, where everyone feels safe to share their struggles. If someone falls, we pick you up. If someone doubts, we're there to have your back. If someone needs support, we're there. That's what a team looks like, a resilient, powerful, diverse team. They help you through those things, right? Resiliency just isn't, it's not about just avoiding challenges. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. You must go through those challenges to build resiliency. You cannot do that without those opportunities, right? So it's about developing your mental fortitude, your mindset, right? Your growth mindset to just navigate those challenges as they come and be better at it, more efficient. And by cultivating an unwavering set of grit and resiliency for yourself, you can equip yourself and your team to bounce back from setbacks. Look at things very differently and start building that arsenal of adaptability by learning from your mistakes and ultimately achieving your entrepreneurial dreams. So, thank you for listening again. Fearless Thinking, week 2, episode 5. It's the end of the week, man. It's Friday. Woo woo. Okay, you go have a great weekend. Thank you for listening to Fearless Thinking. Remember the road to your success, right? It's paved with perseverance. But keep leading, keep learning, and keep building those resiliency muscles. You got this. You got this. Man, we'll be back next week. We'll do some more fearless thinking, on our transformative journey. But until then, get out there, weather that storm. Any storm that comes your way, because you can do it. But put that team around you and, do some fearless thinking while you're at it. All right. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend.